Well, President Joe Biden has warned Donald Trump against damaging relations with Canada and Mexico after the president-elect threatened to slap tariffs on both US neighbours when he takes office in January.
The last thing we need to do is begin to screw up those relationships. I think we've got them in a good place. I think by the way, you know, the cooperation with the outgoing president and the incoming president, the illegal crossings are down considerably to what they were back when he was in office. There's a lot more to do, but I just think, I hope they reconsider.
Joining me now is Sky News contributor Beau Davidson. Beau, thank you so much for joining us. What do you make of Biden's comments here? And is Donald Trump threatening to do this as a bit of a bargaining tactic of sorts, particularly with Mexico, to stop illegal migration?
Yeah, I think for one thing, when Biden says he wants to rethink this, or Trump should rethink it, when has Biden actually been thinking anything lately? Any cogent thought, to be honest with you? Counterproductive? No. Giving billions to Ukraine, that's counterproductive. Letting Iran rebuild their nuclear weapons program, that's counterproductive. Joe Biden has been softer than Charmin tissue paper on Canada and Mexico. So you think about the Keystone XL pipeline. That's something Biden shut down. Trump will restart that. Joe Biden let Mexico have control over the border. Trump will completely stop that as well and take back control of our border. Joe Biden did nothing to help these situations. And I got to say this. Donald Trump was the first president to actually realize that there was an economic disparity in terms of trade with Canada and Mexico. So he's wanting to change that. He's wanting to fix that. And let's be honest, Americans are the consumers of these goods. So if you want an American consumer to buy goods from Canada or Mexico, you're going to have to play fair.
Yeah, that certainly is a fair point. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan, has toured the southern border and has issued a warning to Democrats who say they will push back on deportation operations. This is what he said.
It is a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. Don't test us. The nation wants a safe country. We've had enough crime in this country, illegal alien crime. It's time to end it and stop it.
Beau, I've got to say, I really like this man. He seems like a man who means business and is really going to get this job done.
He's a strong guy. Tom Homan is an effective guy, and actually Tom Homan is a compassionate guy. You can see him tear up when he's talking about these children, these migrant children who are unaccompanied, who Mexican cartels use for human trafficking purposes. He's actually a compassionate guy. Democrats lost the last election, Danica, because they were on the wrong side of this border issue. And they still continue to be on the wrong side of it. What Tom Homan is saying is, don't test us, because you have crime begetting crime. On the one hand, you have the crime of coming into this country illegally. That's crime number one. Then crime number two would be protecting and harboring those illegal aliens. So you see, it's crime begetting crime. And it's amazing to me that when you think about how important the border issue was to voters just a few weeks ago, for many people, it was the number one issue. That all changes now with Donald Trump. But Democrats who were on the wrong side of it, they continue to be on the wrong side of it. And you know what? If that means they go to jail, so be it. We've got to take control of our border. We've got to take control of our citizens, make sure our streets are safe, our cities are safe, our children are safe, our women are safe. We deserve that. And I think in Tom Homan, we found someone who actually takes this problem very seriously.
Well, it was an election mandate, and it seems as though Trump has picked the right person for the job, that's for sure. Now, Beau, let's talk about Kamala Harris. She has released her first video since the election, and dear, oh dear, I've got to say, it didn't get the reaction that she would have hoped for. Here is her video message.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
But look, it's been widely mocked. Some suggested that she actually appeared drunk, Beau. Perhaps she's finally unbourboned, if I can say, by what has been.
Yeah, I think, Danica, she is imbibing on what we might call the liberal tears martini. She's been drinking one too many of those. If you never heard of that, it's actually one part fake joy. We know that joy was a big part of her campaign. A dash of swing state bitters. She lost all 7 of them. And 150 proof MAGA. That's what's in the liberal tears martini, and she's been drinking way too many of them. Yeah, she appeared drunk on there. But let's be honest. It shows she's out of touch. She was always out of touch. That's the point. When she does videos like this, it's so cringeworthy because that's exactly what her campaign always was. She's a has-been. She's not desirable. No one wants to be a part of her. And so, you know, look, the thing about 2024, I think that's so interesting, is it showed that conservatives have won the meme war. You look at Donald Trump going on Joe Rogan, going on Theo Von's podcast. He took back humor. He made politics funny. And that's something that Kamala Harris could never do. So I think conservatives actually became cool again by embracing humor, because that's something Donald Trump did. And let's be honest, Kamala Harris, there's a lot of material there to lampoon.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, that's for sure. Now, before we let you go, the joyless Joy Reid from MSNBC is yet again calling for her daily shrinking audience, let it be known, to ban Trump voting relatives, this time from Thanksgiving dinner.
If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing. Our Thanksgiving, our choice.
Beau, how bitter must this woman be? I mean, give it up already. America voted. Why won't these hosts move on?
Every monologue that Joy Reid does gets more cringe and hackneyed with each one. It's unbelievable. And I personally, Danica, don't know one single person of all the people I know that actually watches her show. But you know what this reminded me of? I used to be on a talk show where I was the one conservative with a host of liberals. And one liberal guy on that show said that he would not break bread with a conservative or Republican. And that stuck with me because I thought, why not? Because this is the thing. When they don't get their way, when liberals don't get their way, what they do is they want to shut down the opposing point of view. That's exactly what Joy Reid is talking about, to shun tribalism, shut them down, shut down their voice. And I think that's awful to do, because as a conservative, even though we won this last election, it's Thanksgiving here in America. And I think that we can change that, because I don't have a desire to not eat with someone that thinks different from me. I mean, what kind of a naive fool would I be if I couldn't do that? And so as an American, especially this Thanksgiving season, I believe that we can actually be the bigger person and should be the bigger person, which is the difference is that my political philosophy wants to lift all boats in this rising tide. Yours wants to discriminate. Theirs wants to discriminate and actually choose things not based on merit. So I think as an American who won this last election, we're people who can sit down and break bread with the other person. And we should do that, because we can be the bigger person, unlike Joyless Reid, who apparently can't even be near someone who thinks differently from her. That's a terrible point of view.
Yeah, she certainly is a joyless woman. Beau Davidson, great to speak with you as always. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Danica.